Okay, hi Earthlings. Now, how do I do this right? Computer. Oh dear. Perhaps I'll just do it like this. It's not going to work. Gotcha. So today, I want to have a little talk about mythology, and I want to show you some pictures, and I want us to have a little think. So remember the story of Tiamat, and it was said, that in the churning of her waters, she created the dragons, and I'm thinking about seahorses. If I do ever get myself an aquarium again in my life, this time I might go for seahorses. And remember how we talked about what the water dragon dam looks like? His stomach is like a clam. Here's a little family. Are they going to come in? Let's, it's backwards. No, it is that way. Like this. Look at these ones. And as I was thinking about Mushusu and Kingu, who was afraid of the giant. Now look at that, would you? He's got a forked tongue sticking out there. Out of his little... Oh my gosh, can I... Maybe I'll do it this way. And like this, no, like this. See that? This is an actual real photo of a real seahorse. But why are they called seahorse? Why aren't they called sea dragon? You know, we live in the world of deception now. They confuse words on purpose. This glorious picture. Oh my gosh, oh, let's try again on that one. Let's start again. This one, here he is. The story of the area of the you know, the Uruk and and the rivers, the two rivers. I must look because I can't tell you for sure, but I bet you they've got seahorses. I've seen seahorses in my sea in real life. Why aren't they called sea dragons? Aren't those two cute? They are just cute. And I've got a funny feeling that we've been told a lie, not only us, quite a few generations. And these ones are like quite well disguised. Isn't that gorgeous? And I'm going to zoom in to show you the features of the face. That's his nose, the extended part there. And it reminded me of stick insect. I don't know if you have stick insect in your country, but they look like a twig. They have 6 legs, but even their legs look like sticks, little twiggy pieces that are coming off a stick. Now these ones are called pipers. And we have pipers. Oh, don't tell me it's not clear. There we go, there's a little piper head. And we have pipers in New Zealand. Aren't they cute? And oh, here's another beautiful one in disguise. Seahorse. Oops. And here's a lovely close-up. I hope you can get this one clearly. Isn't it gorgeous? The guy is like practically transparent. And then this one as well. Reminds me very much of Mushushu's face. Mushushu. Here's another piper. Here's his little nose. These ones are pretty cool. These are a different type of piper as well. And I was thinking about, you know, how people say dragons are worms. Worm. W-Y-R-M. Or W-R-Y-M. Worm. Oh, go back to that. That looks pretty clear. Just try and get their little faces in here. Look at that tiny face. That's their eye. That's their eye. And then... oh, I'm going the wrong way. And then their tail. Literally cute as well. Can I get that in focus? Yeah. Not quite. And this is a worm as well. And I don't know if he does that, I haven't read about it yet, but I think they're extending their belly. He's doing an extended belly thing there, making himself look bigger than what he is. It's a worm. This one is like the cutest worm. He's like, are you photographing me? I do hope that comes out clearly. Look at his little angry little face. And you can see like the kind of like how you'd get the idea that they've got snappy teeth and all this going on. Am I going the right direction this way? And I've just, you know, like, we've never seen us, you know, let's use that for another video. We've never seen, well, there is dinosaur bones, but I think dinosaur bones are pre-flood. When we were mucking around with creatures, and they probably were making them giant, you know what I'm saying, when they were splicing DNA, so could just be a simple creature, but they made it giant size because they were trying to, well, they were making experiments, or doing experiments, wanted to ruin everything. The bigger something is, the more it needs to eat. They thought that that would be a way of destruction. And perhaps they're called the abominations, these big things that were around. And while I'm at it, I just want to show you something which I think is important to consider, which I'm considering. That's why I'm saying about it. What have I got here? Oh, that's my... oh, I probably don't have it on my camera actually. but it's 2 photos, and I'll show you them later because they're on my phone. And one is monkey in India, and they have like really big fangs, but yet they only eat fruit. They're not a meat eater. They are not a cannibal, and they're not a meat eater, but they have fangs like a cat. And I want you to consider perhaps what people were sort of like saying was demons. Maybe they were a type of monkey. And I'm just thinking that people have gone like AWOL on the demonic side of everything's demonic and everything that they're going on about. And I've got a funny feeling that it's all part of the lie. So I just want you to consider that perhaps it's all part of the lie, and it's part of the deception, and things that we're supposed to be afraid of, like dragons, are perhaps like seahorses in nature as well as in their nature. Okay, so in the Bible, it's like the red dragon has a scrap with Archangel Michael, and he gets thrown out of heaven, and he drags his tail and pulls a third of the stars with him. And then back in the 1700s, I think it was just before the American Revolution, a lot of stars fell from the sky and scared the bejesus out of people in America. So if that's something to do with the red dragon, and the red dragon, because Wales, the symbol of Wales is a red dragon, but I think it's more like a cockatrice, or it's a red dragon, I don't know. But I'm just saying that there's a lot of symbology whacked into things that are supposed to, biblically, but let's not call it biblically. Is it a form of brainwashing? Is it a form of brainwashing, schooling, programming? These. I just want you to think on these things. And let me just go back to one of these. I think it's Stephen. I hope I got him. Yes, it was. So I took this. So I have to just check. But here we have a king, and I think it's King Stephen the First. He was Christian. He became a Christian. Okay. Obviously, the dude is red. He's red here, which they're just sort of showing it in his moustache. But what I want you to pay attention to is this is what's on his throne. That's behind him on the throne there. So he's got the Star of Venus. He's got the bull, maybe Apis, I don't know. He's got the new moon crescent, which is sort of like Lord Shiva. And what's that other little symbol you got there, mate? Great. It doesn't look recognizable to me, but somebody might recognize it. It could be a flower, but really, I'm not sure. But anyways, this is. I have to find out when Stephen was about. This is the time when they were baptizing everyone that I mentioned in my video, the last video I did, how they made sure that they got everybody baptized. It was a big deal. And I'm not sure who the dark-haired people are here, but you remember how I said when I was reading to you in the last video about the black-headed people, and how their hair shone blue. Just noticed it just then. Not sure who purple guy is, and maybe he's just in the shadow, and it's the way he, don't know if that's relevant to anything. And a big deal went on, you know, to make sure that they got all the people into the water, mass, in mass, to, you know, get everybody baptized. Babies, mamas, you know, dads, everyone got in the water. That's a terrible close up there. It didn't come out, did it? Why? You know, there's a reason why these things happen, and I don't know if it was because the Mormon, sorry, not the Mormon, the Muhammad, because Muhammad rose up and he was on his big mission, which wasn't a nice mission. It was a bit of a slaughter mission, really. He was, what actually Muhammad did was, everyone was started to starve because we had these extreme lean years on Earth, the whole Earth over, everywhere. And no one really saw the sun. Everything was grey all the time. The food didn't grow, the crops. And when it rained, it was like a sulphurous rain. And people started to starve, okay? And so these dudes, Muhammad and his crew, they like rode into different areas, mostly Jewish, small Jewish encampments, and they were like, bow down to our God, and you know, Allah is the Lord around here. Smashed up all their statues and stuff, and took over their food, and was like basically convert or die. This reign began when Pluto had finished in the house of Aquarius, I think, and it was after Constantine had succumbed to his death, which was in the 20-year span-ish of the time period Pluto in Aquarius in the 500 AD time period. And then after that, there was this great sickness. They called it Justinian's disease or sickness. Many people died. And also after that plague, the plague of Justinian. And then after that was the uprising of Muhammad and his little band of guys that, you know, went around and they were like, convert or die. And Muhammad became the new prophet. And yeah, and so the third book began. So the third book, I said, as in like the Jews is one book, and the Christians is the other, the New Testament, and then the Muhammad is the third. So I don't know what all this is about, but I always keep in mind things like time travelers as well, and I keep in mind that we're in a realm where time can be altered. So they're mucking around they're playing with time. Because I worked out once, this is a long time ago, I worked out with the large pyramid, the Pyramid of Giza, the one that was pre the flood, the ancient and biggest pyramid. I saw a marking once, and I worked out that there's a timeline. That's where time began, and it was like it was marked out, and it has a start and a finish, and it's just something that I worked out a long time ago. So I know that there's like a set amount of time. There's a set amount of time. Time is the fourth dimension. So obviously if you muck around in the fourth dimension, it alters the third. And we know that they've been trying to muck around in the fifth dimension, but losers. They can't win there. And of course they kind of send to, it's not the same realm, people. So it doesn't matter. Once you understand, doesn't matter all the witchy things that people try on you and the terrible things that people try to do to you and things like that, when you understand who you are in the spiritual realm as a soul, and when you know who you are as a soul, you understand your position in the spiritual realm. Once you've got those two basically given to you, then you don't say bring it on. It's not like bring it on. It's more like you can go forward now, and you know that it doesn't matter how and what the third dimensional crew just try to get you with it, they'll never succeed. They can't. It's impossible. Now, so yes, I want you to think about, are we sure that dragons are these great beasts? Another thing about Elijah, right? He's the one who killed all the prophets of Jezebel, who is now Isabel. We use the name Isabel. And Isobel might have been her name, because J, it's not really used back in the old days. But anyway, unless she was Egyptian, they did use J there. J. So, but anyway, in saying, there was this thing, and it was like, all the prophets of Baal, they went to this Jezreel Valley, and Elijah was there, but Jezebel was not there. And the story in the Bible was that Elijah was like, try and make your God like this altar. And then his God, Elijah's God, sent down fire from heaven, which I always assumed was the dragon. But then I was like, is the dragon even there now? Because how come Solomon was able to do all of his bad stuff, and how come the tribes were able to split up, and how come nobody believed in the dragon anymore? Like, what is the dragon? Is this a reality, or is this somebody else conjuring? Example, Moses. So I'm just contemplating all this, because all those prophets with the Elijah got them all killed. He killed them himself, and obviously him and his crew. And when Jezebel came into the field of Jezreel, all her prophets were dead. They had been murdered by Elijah, not by their God, not by Elijah's God, not by the dragon, who breathed fire on his altar and made his altar work. So, in actual fact, we don't really have an eyewitness account of what truly happened there. We just have Elijah's story of what happened there. I'm not saying that the dragon wasn't around. I'm just saying that the dragon is a weirdo, because why is he going to come just then to do that? Light a fire on an altar and then shoot off again. That's God, what's God playing at, doing this kind of thing? Lots to think about. Okay. Now, I love you all. Don't be misled. Okay, we've got a big year ahead of us, and what we're doing right now is we're making sure that we're block building, we're making sure that there's a distance between us and other people's jealousy. That's our first level. We're building a dam. We're going to have a reservoir, and those who are with me through this phase in life, because I surely am not alone. I can't be. It's never that. So I know that someone out there is going to find these videos, listen to them, and be like, someone else. Okay, so yeah, we've got work to do, and don't lose yourself to government things. That's not real. The system of things, that's not real, is it? So don't get caught up in that. And even when it comes down to this AI that's going to crack on, and perhaps the idea of robots that's going to be around, always stay with nature. Make sure you've got plants in your house, or you've got a little, even like if it's one square of grass to stand on, you need it. Everyone, all earthlings do. That's us. That's our power. And while we're here in our physical body, it's one of our it's how we are a strong transformer. Okay, much love, ka kite. See you next time.